Welcome. Today I will show you the action-adventure sci-fi thriller film from 2019, Gemini Man. Expert assassin Henry Brogan is hiding out in a field as he awaits his target, suspected terrorist Valery Dormov, to pass by on a moving train. Just as Henry gets ready, his spotter and fellow DIA agent, Marino, informs him that there is a little girl standing in front of Dormov. They must wait until she is out of sight, allowing Henry to take the shot. He just manages to strike Dormov in the neck, but he still kills him. Marino later shows Henry a video of civilians' reactions to Dormov's killing on the train. He orders Marino to delete it, as he wants no memory or image of that in his head. Henry decides to retire from the assassin life and is later visited by his handler, Del Patterson. Henry expresses his remorse over all the lives he has taken over his career, and how one wrong move could have ended that little girl's life. Henry goes to rent a boat, meeting the shop's new manager Danny Zakarweski before going to meet his friend Jack Willis. He tells Henry that Dormov was actually an innocent man working as a molecular biologist who worked in the States for 30 years. Jack thinks Henry's file on Dormov was spiked. When Henry asks where he is getting this information, Jack tells him it's his informant in Budapest, Yuri Kovacs, and he passes on this information. This whole encounter is bugged and listened in on by DIA director Janet Lassiter and Gemini director Clay Veris. Clay orders Lassiter to find a way to take care of Henry. Henry goes back to the shop and suspects Danny of working with the DIA and is following him. She denies it, and Henry feels like a jerk, so he invites her out for dinner. During their outing, it is confirmed that Danny is DIA, but she says she was following in her FBI father's footsteps. Henry also mentions his retirement and why he is choosing to leave this life behind. Later that night, a team of insurgents sneak onto Jack's boat to kill him and his girlfriend, and then dump their bodies in the water. Soon after, Henry wakes up at home and realizes men are breaking in. He calls Marino to warn him, but he hears him get killed over the phone. Henry has no choice but to run. He kills the intruders and then goes to Danny's house to warn her. He figures that since she doesn't seem to know about it that she must not be in on it, and she may be the next target. When Danny is left alone for a moment, she is attacked by a mercenary, but she gets the upper hand on him and beats the information out of him. Danny confirms to Henry that Lassiter sent them. Henry and Danny ride a boat out somewhere obscure until they are found by Henry's pilot friend Baron. Henry contacts Del just to figure out what is going on. He tells him about Gemini working with the DIA to wipe out their agents. It turns out that Dormov was working with Gemini, and Henry figures out Clay's involvement. Henry asks Danny what she knows about Gemini, which is just a paramilitary organization run by Clay, who originally wanted Henry and Baron to join him since they knew him as a Marine, but they both declined. Gemini specializes in wiping out specific targets with the utmost discretion. The trio go to Cartagena temporarily. In their hotel room, Henry spots a shooter running across the adjacent rooftops. Henry runs out and starts shooting at the man. He quickly discovers that the shooter looks exactly like him, and he is named Junior. He utilizes the exact same skill set as Henry, which makes him hard to strike. Junior chases Henry as they both ride motorbikes, resulting in Junior trying to hit Henry with his flaming bike before it explodes. Before Junior can kill Henry, authorities arrive, and he flees. Baron and Danny take Henry into custody as they head somewhere safer. Henry figures out their next move is to go to Budapest to meet Yuri to get more information from him. Baron finds someone who loans him a plane to get them there. Junior goes to his safe house to treat his wounds. He is met by Clay, who makes Junior feel like a son. Junior expresses his astonishment at Henry managing to dodge his attacks and moves, but he didn't actually get a good look at his target. Clay later shows Junior the training exercises that other Gemini operatives go through. Danny reveals to Henry that she sent DNA samples of himself and the cap that Junior was wearing, which reveals that Junior is Henry's clone. Henry is left bewildered at why a clone of himself would be sent to kill him. The trio arrive in Budapest and meet Yuri. He tells Henry that he is against Clay as well, and reveals that Dormov worked with Gemini on the cloning project. He helped design clones that could be stronger and smarter, but Clay wanted soldiers without consciences and pain. Dormov walked away from the project and was marked for death. Henry gets a messenger to find Lassiter and inform her that he knows everything about her, so if she sends someone to kill him again, he will send someone after her first. He tries to negotiate with her to send Junior to him in order to let Danny get back to the US safely. Lassiter arranges for Junior to be sent to Budapest, and he later meets Danny alone in a garden. He orders her to strip to make sure she isn't wearing a wire. He then takes her in and informs Henry about this to get him closer, and they agree to meet somewhere specific. On the ride there, Danny tries to talk to Junior to prove that he is not the cold-blooded killer he was bred to be. When she asks him why he is trying to kill Henry, Junior says he was told that Henry killed the other operatives that Gemini killed. Henry manages to catch Junior and free Danny. He tells Junior he doesn't want to kill him but will do so if necessary. Henry also tells him who Clay really is, as well as who Junior is, expressing how empty they both feel unless they are killing someone. Junior learns he is a clone, but he doesn't want to believe it. He fights Henry and almost kills him before Danny intervenes, and Junior escapes. He returns to Gemini and asks Clay to tell him the truth. Clay does, but he assures Junior that he is better than Henry, and that he is Clay's son. After returning home, Junior finds Henry, Danny, and Baron. He hits Henry with bee venom, knowing they are both allergic to bees, but then quickly administers an EpiPen. Junior decides to team up with the trio to stop Clay for good. Junior asks more questions about Henry's life to know what his own history would have been like. As they drive into town, Clay contacts Junior and tells him to run. They are hit by an ambush when a tank rolls in. Henry, Danny, and Junior jump out of the van, but Baron is killed when the tank blows it up. Soon, more Gemini operatives start to attack, including one wearing all armor and firing a machine gun at the heroes. Henry and Junior manage to kill the operatives, but the armored one goes after them. Junior finds Clay, and they start fighting, with Junior managing to knock Clay out. They manage to subdue and kill him, and he is revealed to be another clone of Henry. Clay regains consciousness and finds them. He tells Henry that this was all to reduce the cost of human life in warfare, and using someone as skilled as Henry was the perfect plan. Junior aims his gun at Clay, but Henry stops him from killing him, as he doesn't want Junior to feel the same trauma from killing people. Henry instead decides to blast a hole in Clay's chest. Sometime later, Gemini's program is shut down, and there are no more clones running around. Henry and Danny meet on a college campus where Junior is now attending with the name Jackson Brogan, using Henry's mother's maiden name. The three walk off together. Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you would like to see more videos like this.